Both of these players. All right. So, fair warning, I am a Greninja player, so I have a basic knowledge of... I've actually dived into Ness pretty in-depth, but Puff, I'm not too familiar with. The thing about Ness is that he can really afford to mash with his aerials. The hitboxes are just so good, and like anytime Ness floats, essentially, there's a hitbox out. Oh my god, okay, already? Is that upper rust? Oh, okay, maybe he wasn't at co-percent. I'm not too sure what that extension was. But the thing about Ness is that he can have a hitbox out like any time that he jumps. And the window to punish it is very small. So if you're playing a slow character like Jigglypuff, finding your opening... This is just me speaking in theory, but it sounds like a very tricky part of the matchup. Okay, tanks the hit, so that way Ness cuts his recovery in half. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So Puff against fast fallers seems to be able to get a lot off of that down air. Against Ness, kind of just got to reset. Okay. Didn't quite trust the end lag on PK Thunder there. There we go. PK Thunder edge guard. Yeah, Puff seems to do pretty well against PK Thunder edge guards. Like, the way you beat it is by clanking with a hitbox or just getting out of the way. But there goes that rising nair. Okay, tech roll in. Okay. Yeah, I'm like kind of seeing the X factor. Puff, you think of Ness's weaknesses, that recovery is something that's more so exploitable. And Puff's edge guarding is kind of cracked. But in neutral, you know, one of Puff's biggest weaknesses is disjoints, and Ness just always has a disjointed hitbox out. Okay, approaches over. How does he capitalize on the ledge? Waits out. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Waits out the opening after the forward air. Beautiful edge guard. Okay. Yeah, you're seeing this exact strategy from Noodz. Just wall out with aerials. If you have a walling aerial, you know, Puff doesn't really have too many disjoints. So it's really hard for her to challenge. So she really has to find her timing well. There's a trade in Puff's favor at the very least. So that, okay, that was in Ness's favor. But let's see. PK Fire. Yeah. So something about Puff being in the air all the time is that if you're hit by Ness's PK Fire while you're in the air, it is very consistent to fall out of the attack. His aerial PK Fire gets the most follow-ups when you're on the ground, and Puff is never on the ground. So, you know, Ness going into this matchup, he might be more so dependent on the stray hits. There you go. Look at that. Edge guarding X Factor. Tank the hit. Doesn't matter. All right, there's game one. Bans are Kalos Town and PS2. Interesting. All right. What do we got? So yeah, that game one, Rayo really just found his openings despite the SD. So good stuff to him. He found his openings, and I guess that's an X factor. Anytime you hit Ness as Puff, you want to put him off stage so that way you can capitalize with your amazing edge guarding. But game two coming up. Let's see how this goes. Goes Battlefield. This is known to be a pretty good stage for Puff because anytime she touches that platform, she instantly has 5 jumps right back. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, again, Noodz just playing that swatting neutral. Yep. Just trying to swat Puff out of the air. Let's see. It's very weird to say, but like Ness's advantage state on Puff, this is just an outsider perspective, but it doesn't seem to be the most amazing. Look at that. What did I say? If PK Fire connects when you're in the air, oh my god. Okay, beautiful back air. But if PK Fire connects when you're in the air, it's very easy to just hold out and get out of that attack. And that's what makes me think that Ness does have the neutral, but at the very least, it seems like this advantage state doesn't give him the most combos. Beautiful parry there. Beautiful parry. Recognizes that whenever Ness uses a rising aerial, he is very likely to swing afterwards. All right, edge guarding X Factor. Oh, that was really good drift on that directional air dodge. Edge guarding X Factor. Nice. Defends himself. Nair off of ledge. Doesn't quite kill. There we go. Beautiful. What he's doing there is he's waiting out the opening because, you know, all attacks have end lag. Waits out the defensive options and then gets the kill. So let's see if Noodz mixes those up next time or if he leaves himself vulnerable. Okay, so those down air loops just work. Did not see any SDI from Ness there. SDI up, by the way, that makes it so much easier for floaties to get out because it doesn't put you into that grounded no tumble state. Again, these aerial PK fires not connecting with Puff's amazing airspeed. I believe it's second to Yoshi. Let's see. Was the edge guard? Just Nair again. He's swinging a little bit preemptively with these aerials, and that's leaving him open to being hit out. Amazing dash attack. You know, Puff is one of the slowest characters on the ground, but that dash attack at high percents is an option. And especially when you consider that even though Ness does have disjointed aerials, they're not the most disjointed, so it's 100% workable. There you go. PK fire in the air, falls out. Okay. Let's see. Ness swatting in neutral, but he's only getting these single hits. He's not really converting off of it too much. Forward tilt? Okay, forward tilt that ledge just kills. Okay, a little bit scrappy right here. A little bit too scrappy. Okay, resets with the back air. Beautiful landing aerial. Nice back airs. Okay. Okay. He's cooking. There you go. Nice clank with the PK Thunder. Down air out of shield. No punish out of shield. Okay. I feel like that could have been something. I'm not entirely familiar with the safety of auto cancel down air, but he's holding shield and Rayo is really looking for these shield breaks or shield damage. Okay. It's not just the fact that Pound can shield break. It's the fact that it pokes, it lessens Ness's shield to the point that your fair, your nair, your back air, all of these aerials that Puff Swan can poke. Oh my god. Very close with that up air. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. That double jump could have been auto cancel down air. For those that don't know, if you input your auto cancel aerial, okay. There we go. Near off of ledge. But as I was saying, if you input an auto cancel aerial and shield at the same time, you will never be forced into a fake tech chase. So Ness burning his double jump there with how floaty it is and how much startup it has, that could have been an opportunity for Puff to dash attack. So a little bit of a scary situation there. All right, the bans are Hollow, Smashville, and FD. Let's see. I understand Hollow and Smashville. I don't know. Because on one hand, with how small Smashville is, it forces those more scrappy interactions. And what does Ness love to do? Mash. So on Smashville, when it's more scrappy and you're more closer towards center stage, you know, if you're just boxing, I think Ness might have the advantage, but the monoplat really just interferes with aerial PK fire. But you know, that's not really the most important tool in this matchup. As we've seen, all those aerial PK fires don't lead to too much against Puff, who's always in the air. Okay. We're seeing a lot of rolls in that might be scary at some point. Okay. Again, we're playing this scrappy neutral. Okay, beautiful dancing around hitboxes by Rayo there. Okay, X Factor. What did I say? Yeah. He's being a little bit too aggressive with those aerials. You know, maybe just throw out a PK flash to stall and then recover afterwards. Oh, I'm sorry. I should be updating scores. The score is 1-1 with Ness winning game 2. Okay, gets around the 1-frame hitbox of Psy Magnet. Okay, he's looking for these back airs. Like, again, Puff has to be very, very careful with her openings. Okay, that's one. Doesn't quite get it out. Okay, defensive up air. Okay. Okay, does not DI that dash attack properly. Down and away is proper DI for Ness's dash attack. All right, we got the Puff Dance. Puff Dance. There we go. What does Ness want to do? Just sit and shield. No, I'm sorry. He wants to mash. Oh, is that PK Thunder? Oh my god, doesn't quite get it. I feel like maybe if you did footstool PK Thunder, that could have worked. Whenever you footstool, they lower their hitbox to avoid the early hit of PK Thunder, and then whenever they pop back up, that tail can combo into PK Thunder too. But not quite. Let's see. Can you footstool Puff out of rest? I don't think so, actually, because that's technically an animation. But you could have just gone for the raw PK Thunder too. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. A little bit too aggressive with those aerials. Now he's in the corner. He's got to get off. Oh my god. Okay. Close, close, close. Mispositions the yo-yo. Okay. Great stall around that. I wonder if Rio knows the counterplay to yo-yo. Okay. Beautiful tomahawk. Oh, that was beautiful. Covers low. Yeah, it's really just this edge guarding X Factor. Yeah, waits out the yo-yo again. A lot of characters might struggle against yo-yo, but one of the best ways to play around yo-yo, unlike other smash attacks, it cannot be held as long. Or you could just clank with it. That also works with the lingering hitbox of pound. That was great. But Ness cannot hold yo-yo for as long as other smash attacks can be held, and whenever he stops shaking, that hitbox disappears. So stalling around it is a great option. There we go. What did I say? What did I say? 200 rolls in. But yeah, waiting out that yo-yo is a great option to get off of ledge. And cheat code that nobody knows about: if you're hit by yo-yo, you can just air dodge up. Ooh. Yeah. Yo-yos multi-hit combos into the attack very, very inconsistently because the lingering hitbox deals set knockback, and it has like a very, very little hit stun. So if Ness doesn't time that yo-yo perfectly, a lot of characters, even if you up B and you get 2-frame, you can just air dodge up to avoid the launching hit and then snap to ledge. That's a cheat code for our 2 viewers. All right. Back to Puff. I'm not sure what the coffee break rule set is with characters first, but back to Puff. And that was game 2 to Rayo. All right, let's see it. Yeah. I'm not sure that I'm seeing any SDI at all on that downer. SDI up pops you up so that way you can avoid. Yeah, just holds away on those PK fires. Like, PK fire is a very solid tool in neutral, but against a character that has aerial as Puff, you know, grounded PK fires do control the ground, but you really want to catch their landing or... Oh, okay, that was very close. You want to catch their landing or catch them while they're on the ground with aerial PK fire. And at the moment, Noodz kind of isn't doing either too much. I'd really like to see him expect the timing of landings and then go for the PK fire, so that way Puff lands inside of the hitbox and then he can get a conversion. Let's see. Nice back air. Oh, yeah. That happens. That's the Ness contract that you sign up with. I'm not really liking these yo-yos too much. What he could do is release the yo-yo early and then go for a second yo-yo. You know, the classic elite smash. And while Rayo tries to punish the first one, that can potentially catch him off guard. Or just, you know, abandon the yo-yo entirely. We got to see some adaptations here. That pound interception. I'm not too sure how great Pound's hitbox is, but Rayo's really making great usage of the move. Okay, there we go. Walling aerial. Clank. Oh my god. Okay, that was really good with the tail hitbox comboing into the PK Thunder head. Okay. We just got rest combos. What is the punish? Can he get one? Okay. Yeah, like I said, if you connect PK Thunder on the ground, but they don't fall into it, there's very, very little reward. So I really want to see him punishing the landings with the PK Thunder 2 from a safe distance. Okay, we're scrapping. Again, very little reward off of that. It does work, but at this point, Rayo's just opting to play patiently, find his openings. There you go. Okay. PK Thunder off stage. Nice. Really good patience. There we go. Now we're connecting aerial PK fire. Oh. That was very close. Ness has a 3-frame vulnerable directional air dodge. So if you time it right, you just kill. In that situation, I imagine a down smash. Okay, beautiful. Parry rest through the multi-hit, frame 2. Yeah, in that situation, I imagine Pound can linger to cover directional air dodge to ledge, and that's a late box to get something off of it. But great performance by Rhea.
Dude, it's crazy how, like, I'll get tech rolled in